But let me go to my guest. I am joined the man of this next 30 minutes, KJ. No, he is a fantastic friend of the show. He's a journalist, political analyst, writer, teacher specializing in the geopolitics of the Asia Pacific region. He was contributor to the book Capitalism on a Ventilator, once censored by Amazon, and is now available at iacenter.org. KJ, my man, how you doing today? You doing all right?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Oh man, it's good to see you too. I want to start on a cancer drug that I noticed. I noticed this, I think it was a few weeks ago, but it has finally bubbled up into US media. And they point out that the cancer drug has a better outcome than the main drug for the US supply. CNN runs the story. They run the story. And then they immediately put a knife in the medication and bringing up doubts about the medication because, of course, it's Chinese. I want to get your take on this. I want to play a small bit of this.
Will Ripley is out front. Chinese scientists celebrating a breakthrough, one that may have just outperformed a top U.S. cancer drug. Akeso, barely known a year ago, is now shaking up the biotech world. Their new cancer drug, ivonescimab, they're first to get major international attention, going head-to-head with Keytruda, one of Merck's biggest sellers, more than $130 billion so far. Clinical trials in China show it kept lung tumors from growing for nearly twice as long, sending the stock of Akeso's U.S. partner soaring. Some call it a game changer, just like Chinese startup DeepSeek shook up AI. China's innovation push goes beyond biotech.
Now, this is where it turns. And I don't need to play the part where it turns. I'm just going to point out it turns and they start questioning whether or not China is being on the level with this, questioning the efficacy of the medication, questioning whether the results are correct. They trash it for the next 2 minutes, for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds. What is going on with this? Because this is being heralded as a game changer for cancer treatment. And they were comparing it in many respects, even in the article, they compared it to the AI that came out of China that blew away, or at the very least, just dramatically shook up the market in regards to AI. What is going on with this cancer drug?
Yeah, it's one of many drugs that China is testing and putting out to market that are really kind of revolutionizing the medical field and treatment of many, many chronic diseases. The Chinese are doing extraordinary work in medical research. And as you point out, it's like DeepSeek. Just as DeepSeek is shifting the landscape of AI, there are multiple Chinese biotech companies and medical firms that are shifting the landscape of treatment. And they're doing this inside a system where they believe that everybody has the right to affordable treatment. So if these things come onto market, certainly in China, there will be a tiny fraction of the cost of what it costs in the United States for drugs that are, in this particular situation, less effective. This drug gives a person, it doubles your lifespan from what the comparable US, I think Merck medication is. And so, I mean, these are, we're on the cusp of a revolution in terms of medical treatment of some really, really serious diseases. But this CNN piece is a hit piece on China and on Chinese medicines and on Chinese biotech. Question is, why are they doing this? And the answer is obvious, because they want to protect the entrenched interests of US biotech companies. And, there have been multiple articles in the US news which says, well, China is curing cancer, but, at what cost? They're curing cancer too fast. Or,
Right.
said that healing people is not a sustainable strategy, right? The whole notion that you might have a medical system that actually helps people get better rather than uses their sickness as a way to gouge excessive profits is so completely and diametrically opposed to the US system that they can do nothing but attack the Chinese biotech researchers that are making these tremendous steps that are really a gift for humanity, they want to attack that, just as they're attacking DeepSeek.
And by the way, just to be clear, the American public agrees with you entirely. Evidence of that is Luigi Maggioni, the one that murdered the healthcare CEO in New York. Well, at the very least, they think he did. There's stuff going on with the trial right now. He is a rock star. And it is very bizarre to see somebody being a rock star for murder, which gets across the level of ire, the hatred towards a system that they feel like they're stuck with, like with these insurance companies and everything else that is effectively profiting off of their illness. That and the applause that effectively ends up going to him is mind blowing. But he gets across.
But note, Jamal. People are very, very restricted in what they can say about Luigi Mangione. I mean, he's essentially being censored from social media, and people who have posted or lauded his work, in some cases, they have been prosecuted. And so once again, we have to understand that despite public sentiment being what it is, the repressive forces are coming down hard because they want to make sure the system continues as is. There is no alternative. That's the message they want to send to people. And they certainly do not want an alternative coming out of the global south, like from China.